Hello, do you only say it was good about your favorite book? Simple words cannot express deep feelings. Today, let's escape that trap. We will learn strong descriptive adjectives to share your true opinions with confidence. This lesson is calm and stress-free. There is no rush here. Enjoy the calm pace and simply focus on the sound of the English words. Hi, my name is Maria, and this is the story of how I found one of my favorite books. It happened last Saturday afternoon. I decided to visit the large bookstore in the city center. The weather outside was cold, so the store felt warm and very peaceful. I loved the smell of the paper and the quiet sound of people walking. I did not go to buy a specific book. I just went to browse. I spent a long time simply wandering between the tall bookshelves, looking at the titles. After a few minutes, I needed help finding a specific genre. I saw a friendly employee. I asked politely,
Excuse me, where is the fantasy section?
It is right around the corner, next to the tall map display.
This simple dialogue helped me find my way. I thanked her, feeling excited. I walked past the cooking section and the history section. Finally, I reached the fantasy area. I hoped to find something unexpected and exciting to read. This is where my story truly begins. I began to carefully look at the shelves. There were so many books. Suddenly, one cover caught my eye. It was dark blue with a silver drawing of a strange castle. It looked mysterious and ancient. I reached out and slowly took the heavy book from the shelf. I held it in my hands for a moment, feeling the texture of the thick paper. Then I turned it over to read the back cover. This is the moment of selection. The summary was short, but exciting. It talked about a young hero who had to travel to a forgotten land to find a magical item. The last sentence asked, "Can she succeed before time runs out?" I read the description 2 times. It made me feel an instant curiosity. I thought to myself, this sounds like the perfect escape for the weekend. I knew I had to buy it immediately. I placed the book carefully into my shopping basket, feeling a strong anticipation for the story inside. When I returned home, I could not wait to start reading. I quickly put away my coat and bag. The very first thing I did was settle down. To settle down means to get comfortable and relax. I walked into my living room, chose my favorite armchair next to the window, and sat down gently. I made sure the light was good so I could see every word clearly. Before I started reading, I went to the kitchen and made myself a simple, warm cup of chamomile tea. The steam rose gently, and the sweet smell of the tea filled the air around me. This small detail made the atmosphere feel complete. I placed the cup on a small table right next to my chair. Then I took the book out of the bag and ran my hand over the cover one more time. This small ritual increases the joy of reading. I slowly opened the book to the very first page. The first chapter was called The Whispering Woods. I started to read. The author used very simple, beautiful language. I read the first paragraph, then the second. I immediately felt the story pulling me in. The world inside the book was so different from my quiet living room. I knew right away that this was not just a good book. It was a journey. Once I started reading, I felt an immediate connection to the main character. The story was so interesting that I quickly became immersed. To be immersed means you are completely focused on one thing, forgetting everything else. The pages seemed to fly by. The physical action of turning the page became a constant movement, driving the story forward. I drank the tea, but I barely noticed the taste. I was no longer sitting in my living room. My mind was traveling through the whispering woods. I looked up and saw the sun was much lower in the sky than before. I realized I had completely lost track of time. Time did not seem important anymore. I had been reading for more than 3 hours straight, without moving. This is the magic of a truly great book. It captures your attention and does not let go. My mind was busy visualizing the castle in the forgotten land. The deeper I read, the more I wanted to know what happened next. I felt so close to the people in the story. The main character, Elara, was very brave. I watched as she faced many difficult situations. She often spoke to her small, loyal companion, a wise old man named Kale. They would always travel together across the dangerous mountains. I found myself constantly rooting for her. Rooting means you strongly want someone to succeed. When Elara felt sad, I felt a little sad too. When she laughed at Kale's jokes, I smiled with her. The writer was very good at making their emotions clear. I could almost hear Elara's voice in my mind. Her actions felt real to me. I thought about the tough choices she had to make. I truly cared about what happened next in her life. This emotional connection made the story much more powerful than just reading words on a page. They became my friends. The sun began to set, and the light in my living room changed from bright yellow to soft orange. I kept reading and reading. I knew I should stop and make dinner, but the story was too intense. The world outside my window disappeared. I looked up and saw that it was completely dark now. A few hours passed without me noticing anything outside the book. I realized it was already past midnight. I hadn't even thought about food. I quickly got a glass of water, but I did not leave my cozy armchair. I told myself, just one more chapter. But one chapter quickly became 3 more chapters. My total dedication to the story was strong. I finally stopped reading only when the clock showed 3 a.m. My eyes felt tired, but my mind was wide awake and full of the magical adventure. I put a bookmark carefully inside the pages. I knew the very first thing I would do the next morning was pick up the book again. This powerful feeling of wanting to continue the story shows true love for a book. The story quickly moved toward the end. The hero, Elara, and her companion Kale finally arrived at the strange castle. This was the moment I was waiting for. They had to face the main villain, the dark sorceress. The tension in the writing was so high that my heart started beating very fast. I felt surprised when Kyle suddenly decided to stay behind to fight the guards alone. I thought, no, Kyle, don't do that. It was a big sacrifice. Then, during the final battle between Elara and the sorceress, the author included a major twist. The magical item they were searching for was not a powerful weapon, but a small, simple mirror. I was genuinely shocked. This completely changed the meaning of the quest. I quickly turned the page, needing to know if Elara was okay. The final few paragraphs made me feel sad, but also deeply satisfied. This section was the most unforgettable part of the entire book. I read the very last line, which was a beautiful, quiet sentence about peace returning to the land. Then I turned the final page. I saw the words, "The End." I slowly closed the book. The action of closing the book felt important. It was a strong sense of finality. The journey was over. I did not immediately start a new activity. I simply sat there in my armchair, holding the book and staying completely silent. I needed a few minutes to reflect quietly on the ending. To reflect means to think deeply about something. I thought about Kale's brave sacrifice and Alara's final success. I did not want the story to leave my mind too quickly. It felt like saying goodbye to old friends. I looked at the dark blue cover and felt a powerful respect for the author. This quiet moment of reflection is essential after reading a meaningful story. It allows the important lessons of the book to settle in your mind. The next day, the feeling of the story stayed with me. I kept thinking about the characters and the unexpected ending. I felt a strong desire to talk about it with someone. I decided to call my best friend, Sarah, who also loves fantasy books. When she answered the phone, I immediately said,
Sarah, you will not believe this book. You must read it.
Oh, really? Tell me about it.
I highly recommend it to you. The writing is wonderful, and the plot twist near the end is incredible.
That sounds great. Put it on my list.
Now, the beautiful story is complete. Next, we will learn 5 specific descriptive adjectives, moving you from simple English to expressive English. Our first word is captivating. Captivating means the book holds your attention strongly, like a magnet. Example 1. The main character's story was captivating. Example 2. I found the writing style to be truly captivating. Our second word is thrilling. Thrilling means very exciting and full of action. Example 1. The final battle was incredibly thrilling. Example 2. This fantasy book is a thrilling adventure. Word number 3 is thought-provoking. This means the book makes you think deeply about important ideas. Example 1. The novel's ending was truly thought-provoking. Example 2. It is a thought-provoking story about leadership. Our fourth word is complex. Complex means the story or characters have many different parts and are not simple. Example 1. The villain's motivations were surprisingly complex. Example 2. This history book is long and very complex. Word number 5 is heartwarming. This means the story is touching and makes you feel happy and positive. Example 1. The ending of the friendship story was truly heartwarming. Example 2. It is a heartwarming tale about finding home. Now, let's quickly review. Captivating, thrilling, thought-provoking, complex, and heartwarming. Say them slowly with me. It's time for a quick quiz. This tests your listening comprehension of the story. Question 1. What room did Maria sit in to start reading? A. The kitchen. B. The living room. C. The bedroom. Question 2. What did Maria drink while reading? A. Coffee. B. Water. C. Chamomile tea. Question 3. What was the companion's name? A. Kale. B. Ilara. C. Sarah. How did you do? You are doing great. Remember, every time you try to speak, your English gets better. Never be afraid to try. You finished the lesson. You are no longer stuck saying only good or nice about a book. You now have powerful adjectives like captivating and thrilling. You have gained the skill to share your deep, complex opinions clearly. Be proud of this progress and use these new words immediately. That is all for our lesson today. You did an amazing job learning and practicing. Don't let your new vocabulary get rusty. Use it this week. If you found this lesson helpful for your confidence, please like this video and subscribe for more calm, structured English lessons. And remember, the best practice is repetition. Rewatch this video anytime you need extra shadowing practice. Thank you for learning with me. Goodbye for now.